Hello and welcome to video number 5, and in this particular video you're going to learn what is Softaculous and how to use it. Softaculous replaced Fantastico, which is basically a popular suite of software scripts that you can build into your website. Things like WordPress, Joomla. If you want a forum, you can build forums. There are many different free scripts that you have access to that you do not have to spend extra money for. They're all built in. So in other words, it gives you access to things like WordPress, blogs, bulletin boards, even support help desks, and more. So you'll be given an overview of this suite and how to use it properly, and we'll show you how to install things like WordPress in a few clicks of your mouse. So where it's located can differ from different people, but for the most of you, it should be located somewhere down near the bottom. So if we keep scrolling down, we'll see it here. So we can see that it says the Softaculous Apps Installer. So what's nice about this is you have access to tons of scripts that you could potentially use, and just be aware that you want to pick and choose what you want. It's super easy to go trigger happy and try to install as much as possible, but just keep in mind that the more you install, the slower your website is. So pick and choose wisely, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 max. So let me just do a quick run through here. So we've got blogs, we've got microblogs, and if you click these links down below, these are categories, and these are all the scripts. So if you're not really sure which one to choose, if you click on blogs here, you'll actually be able to see all the blogs. So as we can see here, we've got WordPress, we've got OpenBlog, we've got Serendipity, and there's a lot more. I'm not going to go through every single one. But if you click on blogs, it'll categorize it. And then you can look through. You've got microblogs, we've got portals, or content management systems like Joomla and all of that. There's also specialized ones for real estate and more. We've got forums. So let's say, for example, you want a community. You want to create a community, click forums. We've got PHPBB, we've got SMF, and we've actually tried SMFs. SMF is really good. PHPBB is good. bbPress is also good. And we have image galleries. Now keep in mind, if you're installing something like WordPress, you don't really need all of these. You can actually create all of these within WordPress by using WordPress plugins. And then we have wikis, we have social networking, we have calendars, we have analytics, we have e-commerce. So there are tons and tons of stuff in here, but at the end of the day, the best way to know exactly what to install is to figure out, okay, what is my plan? What is my vision? Does it actually match what I'm trying to do? And then go from there. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to install. So I'm going to click on WordPress here. And you're going to see within a few clicks and a few things that we need to enter, we're going to create a WordPress site really fast. So all you need to do is simply scroll down and click on Install Now, and then it's going to say Software Setup. So you want to choose your protocol, which if you're using a SSL certificate, you want to use HTTPS/:/. And then if you're not, then use one of these two, and then one of these. And then of course you want to choose your domain name. And the reason why this is listed is because if you have a subdomain name, you can actually install it in there. And then of course the directory, if you leave this blank, it's going to install it at yourdomain.com. If you enter a directory, it's going to install it within a directory within yourdomain.com. So if it's WP, for example, it'll be yourdomain.com/WP. So if somebody goes to yourdomain.com, they're not going to see the WordPress site. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. So once you've done that, then what you want to do is enter your admin account, so your admin username and password. Now, I will say by default, it does have you enter admin, but it's highly advised not to use the word admin because most WordPress blogs use that, and it's super easy for people to hack into your site. So make sure you change something that is not admin and not even any words inside of your domain name. So we'll just do something like that. And then of course we got the password. And then of course you'll enter your email. You'll enter your site language, and then you'll choose what you want here. You can always choose a theme later. We'll just select this here. And you can enter the email details that you want it sent to. So you have that information in the future, and you click install, and that's it. So that's how easy it is to literally install the scripts. If you were to do this manually and install WordPress manually, it would actually take you literally about 30 minutes if you knew what you were doing. If you didn't know what you were doing, it would probably take you about an hour to do, even though they say it's a 5-minute install. With Softaculous, it skips the process and it allows you to install softwares, a variety of different softwares, really, really fast. So hopefully that opens your eyes to the potential software and scripts that you can install really, really fast. Welcome to video number 6, and in this particular video we're going to talk about how to set up an error and redirect page. So did you know that you could be losing traffic when people land on certain areas of your website that don't exist? In other words, over the time and over the years of maintaining your website, you'll have pages and elements, videos, zip files, whatever, that will disappear on your website. And what will happen over the years is they will be indexed by Google, and if somebody clicks on that through Google and they come to your website, it will lead to what we call a 404 error page. Now, think about it for just a second. If you were that prospect and you clicked on a link and it went to a 404 error page, what does that first impression give you? Most likely it gives you the impression that the site is not maintained, or maybe it's not really very professional, right? In that case, what it'll do is it'll be detrimental to your reputation. So you don't want that. Instead, what you want is you want people to be redirected to either a page that actually works or a specific page that you want all the traffic to be redirected to. And this is where the 404 error page comes in. Fortunately, on the cPanel hosting panel, you can actually specify where you want all this traffic to go. So in other words, what if you could redirect all that traffic back to either the main page or a working area of your website? Well, that's what you can do, and in this video, we're going to show you how to create that 404 error page. And we'll talk about the other types of error pages as well. So what you want to do is find the title that says error pages. So don't worry about the icon. We can even do a search on that. So we can do a search on error. There we go. That's not the metrics though. It's not going to be under there. It's going to be error pages, or it might be 404 pages. So we have edit common error codes or show all HTTP error code. The 404 is the one that's not found. So that's what we're talking about anytime we delete a file, a page, or anything like that. That's generally where somebody's going to come in to access your site from Google or a site that has been indexed. And the next thing after that is to enter some HTML code that tells the system to redirect to whatever page that you decide. Now, I'm not going to expect you to understand HTML code. I could go through here and tell you to pause it and just copy it. You could do that. Or you can simply go to google.com and do a search for HTML meta redirect. Get the code and then just enter the code as you can see here. And sometimes you'll have stuff in the body. You can remove that. You can change the title. But basically, it's HTML. There's a head. There's a title, and then there's meta head body. So you can pause the video and just do that or do the other way, but just make sure that when it says meta refresh, content equals 0. 0 means that it'll redirect immediately. If there's like a number in there, it'll wait how many seconds. So if there's number 5 in there, it'll wait 5 seconds before it actually redirects. And then of course, as you can see here, I'm telling it to redirect to google.com. But in your case, it's going to be http://yourdomain.com. And that's what it's going to be. And when you're done, you click on save. And anytime anyone goes to yourdomain.com / some random URL, and instead of going to an error page, they are redirected to your main page or whatever URL that you want to redirect them to. And that's it. This is going to be video number 7. And in this particular video, I'm going to show you how to use the file manager effectively. FTP is not the only way to upload your files. You might have heard of FTP software, which is basically a file transfer protocol software that enables you to transfer files. Now, if you're not aware of this and it sounds a little bit complex, then don't worry about that. That's the whole goal of this particular video. In fact, cPanel's file manager not only allows you to upload your files, everything from zip files and all of that, but you can also delete files. You can create directories, you can create and extract zip files, you can even edit files within this program, and so much more. So by showing you this, I think this will simplify your life a little bit. And this is great in addition to that, especially if you need to install web scripts like PHP scripts. And best of all, you can do it without any fancy software like we talked about earlier, the FTP software, and you can do it on any computer that has access to the internet. So let me go ahead and jump right in and show you how it works. So you should see the file manager at the very top. The icon might be different, like I said earlier, but the file manager name will be the same. So click on that. It's going to open up a separate window. And I will warn you, you have to be very, very careful when you move your mouse, because you could potentially move a file, a folder into the wrong folder or what have you. So just keep that in mind. Be very, very careful while you're in here. So right now I'm in a website, and you're going to see all these different folders here. The key to remember is that some of you will see public_HTML, and some of you might see HTTP docs. Now, if you're unsure about where the files should be located, you'll need to contact your web hosts, because some web host companies will put it in a certain directory, but for the majority of you, it should say public_HTML. So this should be the magic folder that holds all the files that show up on your website. All of the rest of the folders here may pertain to your email system, to files that are related to other than what people actually see. So we're going to click this here. And right off the bat, you see a bunch of WP-, which basically tells you there's WordPress site inside here. But if we scroll down here, I want to show you there are a number of things that we can do. So inside this folder, we can create a new folder. So if we want to do that, we can click folder and we can type the new folder. So create new folder. And what we could do in this folder is we could double click it just like you would on a PC or a Mac computer where we're creating folders. So same thing. But in this case, we can upload files, so we can click on upload. And you can drag and drop files into here, or you can simply click select file and upload files via there. So in this case, I can select an image, click open, and that'll upload the image. So when I'm done, I click go back to the new folder, and we can see that it is there. Now we could select a file, and you can see that other options show up. So we select a file, we can also download it. So we could click download, and it would download it to our computer. So if you had a zip file or a video file that you want to download it to your computer, you can do that. You can also delete the file. We can also compress it. So let's say we have a good number of files that we want to compress into a zip file. We can select those files or select that folder and click compress. We can click zip, compress, and it'll compress it as you can see here. So we can click that, click download, and there we go. We can also delete files. So you can select a file, click delete, skip trash, and permanently delete files. Or if we unselect it, click confirm, we could do that. We can also rename. So you could rename the file here. We can also edit. Now it is an image file, so we can't necessarily edit the image file on here. We can only edit files like text files and things like that. So let's say, for example, we'll click File, New File, and we'll just name this file.txt. You can name it whatever you want it to be. So we'll do that, and we'll click on Edit. And now you can see that we're actually able to edit this particular file because it's a text file. You can also edit HTML files. So I could even do file.html. And if you're not familiar with what HTML files are, they're basically web-based files. So we could click that. We could click HTML editor, click edit, and then you'll see the HTML editor. And then of course you can create text and increase the size and all that. So we'll exit out of that. And you can also set permissions. What permissions means is you're telling the system, okay, as a user, these are my abilities, these are my rights. I can edit the file. But the world cannot. But if you wanted the world to edit, world meaning everybody else, to do it, then you could do that. I would not recommend that. You're going to run into the situation, especially when you install scripts, especially when you upload the scripts, and it's going to ask you to change the permissions for certain files. So that's good to know right there. So that's pretty much it as far as File Manager goes. And as long as you understand those basics, and understand that it operates very, very similarly to a Mac computer or a PC, then you're good to go.